Ayan, hello, good evening. Ayan, sige. May ano ulit tayo dito? May ano po tayo? Ayan, for tonight, we have our Coach Peter ulit para sa assessment and evaluation, part 2. Ayan, part 2 na po to siya ha, part 2, part 2. Ayan, sige po, pa-share po ng live, pa-share po ng live. Hello po sa 7 viewers natin. Ayan. Pa-share po ako ng live. Ayan. Sige, antay lang tayo ng mga 10 viewers. And mag-start na po tayo. Ayan, this is part 2 ha. Part 2 na po to sa ano. Part 2 dun sa discussion ni Coach Peter John. 2 days ago, I think. Ayan, good evening po, Teacher Medenilia, Jane Princess. Ayan. Yes po, recorded po to Teacher Shalu. Ayan, recorded po ito, recorded po ito. Kaya pwede nyo po balikan. Sige po. Ayan, konting share naman dyan, teachers. Konting share. Ayan, good evening po. Good evening po. Sige, ayan, 16 viewers na tayo. Pwede na siguro tayo mag-start. Ayan, pa-comment po ako sa mga 16 viewers natin dyan. Pa-comment po ako dyan ng hashtag LPT March 2023. Ayan, hashtag LPT March 2023. Ayan, good evening po, Teacher RP. Ayan, hello po, first time ko po manood ng live. Ayan, laban po tayo, Teacher RP, for tonight. Ayan. Good evening din po, Teacher Bambi. Ayan, Teacher Hazel Jose. And Teacher Felix Pangalyaman Jr., Teacher Daniela Kyra Camilong, and Teacher Bambi. Ayan, hashtag LPT March 2023. Ayan, para makapag-start na tayo. Sa 19 viewers natin dyan, hashtag pa-comment po dyan sa chat box natin, hashtag LPT March 2023. Okay, sige, sige. Di na natin papatagalin to, mag-start na tayo. Ayan, na-introduce ko na sa inyo si Coach Peter before. Ayan, coach din po siya sa ibang review centers. And top-notcher, isa sang top-notcher. And coach po siya sa assessment and evaluation and MAPE major. Ayan, sige po. Without further ado, ayan, say hi to your coach for tonight, Coach Peter John. Hello, Coach. Good evening po.
Hello po, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Again, hello to our future LPTs for March 2023. I hope I am audible po for this session. Clear lang po ba yung voice ko?
Yes po, Coach. Audible po.
Okay, this is actually our part 2 po ng ating assessment and evaluation. Now, wag na po nating ating review for this evening. Let's start forward our first question, Our question number 1. Ayan, if you know the answer, you can type down po ang ating mga sagot sa ating comment section. Ayan, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Good evening po, good evening, good evening. Okay po, this is our first question in assessment and evaluation. An effective assessment practice is multidimensional. How is this applied? If you actually watch po our last review, last session po, nabanggit po natin yung mga iba't ibang examples and methods po when it comes to our assessment. Now, for an effective assessment to happen and for an effective assessment to be on in the class, kailangan po siya ay multidimensional. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng multidimensional assessment? Letter A, assessment sticks to authentic tests. B, the written test combines objective and essay tests. C, assessment is done with the use of varied tools and tasks. Or letter D, assessment excludes traditional tests. Okay? I can see your answers now. No, may sumasagot po ng letter C. Ayan. Now, let's talk about first with the methods of assessment. Remember, we have three methods of assessment. And these are your alternative, your traditional, and your authentic assessment. Again, we have your alternative, we have traditional, and we have your authentic assessment. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating authentic assessment, what is our keyword? Again, ano po ang keyword natin sa exam kapag po nababanggit natin or ating nababasa ang authentic assessment? Please key in your answers. Ano po ang ating keyword for authentic assessment? Ayan, mga future teachers, ano po ang ating keyword for authentic assessment sa letter A natin? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng authentic test or authentic assessment? Sige po. Pwede ko po bang makita ang ating mga sagot? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng authentic test or authentic assessment? Okay. Kapag po sinabi nating authentic test, meaning meron siyang real-life application ng concept or real-world application of concept. May kinalaman sa totoong buhay. May connection sa totoong buhay. That is our authentic assessment. For letter B, it's about written tests. Combination of your objective tests and essay tests. Remember, kapag po sinasabi nating written test, ito po ay under traditional. It's more of the use of pen and paper. When we're talking of your written test or traditional, it's either objective siya or subjective siya. Objective po siya kapag meron tayong mga choices, like your multiple choice, your alternate response, your true or false, and your matching type. Ano? Those are examples of your objective tests. Kapag po sinabing subjective test, this is more of personal opinion, such as essay. That is example of your objective, subjective type of tests. Okay, when we're talking of your traditional test, again, this is your pen and paper. Now, ang nasa keyword natin is about multi-dimensional. From the keyword itself, multi. Ibig sabihin, iba-iba. No? Dapat ang ginagawa ni teacher ay iba't ibang klase ng assessment tools. Ano po bang implications sa loob ng classroom kung bakit kailangan gumamit ni teacher ng iba't ibang klase ng assessment tools? Number one, it's because para ma-assess niya lahat ng pangangailangan ng mga learners niya. Pangalawa, para ma-target ni teachers yung diversity ng mga learners. Sir, diversity saan? Their diversity when it comes to their learning styles, diversity when it comes to their multiple intelligences, diversity when it comes to their culture, their backgrounds, and others, and among others. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kung multi ang ginagamit ni teachers na assessment tools, pwedeng ma-target niya po yung iba't ibang skills, iba't ibang intelligence ng ating mga learners. Now, in this question, nasaan po kaya yung may multidimensional approach when it comes to assessment? Is it letter A, na nakastick lang tayo sa authentic test? Is it letter D lang po, na hindi kasama ang traditional test? Or is it letter B, with the combination of objective and essay tests? Or it's letter C, na gumagamit si teacher ng iba't ibang tools and tasks to assess his or her pupils or students? Okay? Now, I can see your answers is letter C po, no? Let's see. Let's reveal the answer for our question number 1. Ang ating pong sagot ay letter C. Very good po tayo, no? It is with the use of varied tools and tasks to assess the different intelligences, the different learning styles of our learners, and also para matarget lahat ng ating mga estudyante or clientele inside the classroom. Remember, you are not teaching the whole class, but we are teaching the individual students. Okay? Now, let's move on with our question number 2. You are applying for a teaching job. Ayan, gusto natin mag-apply for a teaching job. For example, nakapasa tayo ng board exam. Okay? Pasado na sa board exam. Gusto mong maki-RQA. Gusto mong magpasa ng iyong mga collections of your outputs, experiences, and others. Okay? Which type of portfolio should accompany your application letter? Is it evaluation portfolio? Is it showcase portfolio? Is it assessment or development? Okay, teachers, ano? Kung gusto po nating mag-apply ng trabaho after passing the board exam, amen? Ano pong klaseng portfolio ang ating ipapasa? Nakasama po ng ating application letter. Is it evaluation? Is it showcase? Assessment or development? Last discussion, ano, we have mentioned about the purposes and different types of our portfolio. Kung hindi pa po natin napapanood yung ating first session about assessment and evaluation, just visit po yung ating Facebook page ni Teacher Seppi. Ano, nandun po yung ating first Okay, yung ating first session with assessment and evaluation. We have a short introduction po ano about assessment and evaluation. And also we have discussed doon yung iba't ibang klase at iba't ibang gamit po ng ating portfolio. Okay? I can see your answers now. It's letter V. It's letter B. Bravo. Let's see, ano? Okay, for this item, ang ating pong sagot ay si Showcase Portfolio. Now, let's discuss about the types and uses of portfolios. As a recall lang po, no? Para po sa mga hindi nakapunta ng ating first session. Now, when we're talking of the types of portfolios, we have this. Okay, the first one is we have your Showcase Portfolio. Okay, ano po bang ibig sabihin, no, ng ating Showcase Portfolio? Meaning, this is designed to display learners' best quality of work. So, ibig sabihin, nandun po lahat ng mga best quality work ng isang estudyante o ng isang applicant o ng isang individual. Kasi when we're talking of portfolio, this is a collection, this is a compilation, okay, of our best, among the best, okay, na ating mga nagawa. That is your showcase portfolio. The second one is we have working portfolio. This is most important experiences or courses that is happen, okay, for personal significant milestone. That is your working portfolio. The last one is we have your developmental or progress portfolios. This is actually done over time. If you want to see the development of the learners from the beginning, during, and in the end of the school year, ang gagamitin ni teacher ay developmental or progress portfolios because you want to assess if there is a growth in learning. Kung meron bang development, kung meron bang pagbabago. Okay, that is your progress portfolio. Okay, now let's move on to our next question. What needs to be reflected in a portfolio by way of journal text, photos, and other items? Okay, we're talking of journal text, photos, and other items. Is it learning experiences? Okay, is it your test papers or sites of learning or photos of your classmates? Ano po dapat ang nakikita, okay, sa ating mga portfolio if you want to use portfolio assessment? Is it learning experiences of the learners? Maho? Pwede po ba yan? Is it the test papers? Kailangan bang i-compile ang test papers together with their scores? Is it about the sites of learning? Or the photos of their classmates? Or photos of their crushes? Ano po ang kailangang mag-reflect sa kanilang mga portfolio? Okay? I can see your answers now, ano? Some of us, ang sagot po natin ay letter A. Actually, most of there's the students in our live, ang sagot po nila ay letter A. Tandaan po natin, ano? When we're using our portfolio, we want to access their experiences. This is about experiential learning. Okay? Sharing of their experiences, sharing their milestones, sharing their best outputs, collections of their best outputs. That's why, ang kailangang mag-reflect sa kanilang mga portfolio ay, yes, ang kanilang mga learning experiences sa loob ng classroom. This is letter A. Very good po, no? Sa mga nakukuha ng tamang sagot, very good po tayo. Okay? Now, let's move on to our next item. Which portfolio is most appropriate to show skill at research writing? Okay? Which portfolio is most appropriate to show skill at research writing? Ang gusto ni ang gusto dito ay compilation. Okay? Compilation of your different published researches. Okay? Anong klaseng portfolio ang gagamitin natin? Is it evaluation? Is it showcase? Is it assessment or development? Okay? Sagot po tayo, teachers. Kapag po gusto natin ipakita yung ating skills in research writing, ano po ang kailangan nating ilagay or gamitin? Sorry, ano pong klaseng portfolio ang kailangan nating gamitin? Is it evaluation? Is it showcase, assessment, or development? Mhm. Sagot po tayo sa ating comment section. Ayan, I can see your answers now. Ayan, may sumasagot po ng letter A at ng letter B. Letter A, evaluation. Bakit kaya evaluation? Aha. When we're talking of evaluation, it's about judgment. At wala pong evaluation portfolio. This is just a distractor po sa ating choices. Okay? Tama po, no? Ang sagot po sa ating question number 3 ay C, assess, C, showcase portfolio. Okay? If we want to show best outputs of our students, if we want to show your published researches, your poems, your novels, your stories, and others, ang kailangan pong gamitin ay showcase portfolio. Okay? Showcase portfolio po ang sagot natin for our question number 4. Okay, let's move on to our next question. The results of your assessment must be provided the soonest possible time. Kanino kaya? Is it to parents? Is it to registrar? Is it to students? Or to our neighbors? Sorry, naulit po yung registrar. Or to the neighbors? Or to other students? Sige, is it parents, registrar, students, or to the other students? Okay, kapag natapos po ang assessment, remember when we are talking of your assessment, mayroon tayong tatlong purposes. We have your assessment for learning, assessment of learning, and assessment as learning. Okay, this is done before, during, and after instruction. Okay, kapag sinasabing assessment, this is the systematic collection. This is the gathering of data. Okay, kapag nakuha ang data, kanino ibibigay ang result ng assessment? Is it to the register agad-agad? Or to the parents agad-agad? O kailangan mo nang makita ni learner ang kanyang result? Okay? Bakit kaya si learner ang unang dapat makakita? It's because kailangang malaman ni learner yung kanyang sariling progress. Okay, sa loob ng classroom. Because when we're talking of assessment, this is to monitor. Okay, to monitor the progress of the learners. Kailangang maibigay po yung immediate feedback to the learners after po ng isang assessment process. Again, kailangang ibigay kay learner ang immediate feedback. The key term there is immediate feedback. So the answer here is to the students muna po. Okay, to the students muna po ha. As soon as possible, kapag po ready na yung result for your assessment, ipakita agad kay learner. Dapat alam po ni learner yung scores niya, alam ni learner yung kanyang performance, para po siya ay makapag-adjust kung kinakailangan. Okay, so the answer for this item is students. Okay, very good po, no? Yung mga nakuha ng tamang sagot. The answer here is students. Okay, now let's move on to your next item. Which of the following assessment techniques best assess the objective, plans, and designs an experiment to be performed? Again, our objective is plans and designs an experiment to be performed. Okay? Which assessment techniques ang kailangang gamitin? Is it a rating scale? Is it a checklist? Is it paper and pencil test? Is it essay? Aha. Ano pong kailangang gamitin ni teacher? Mm-hmm. Is it rating scale? Is it checklist? Is it paper and pencil? Or essay? Ayan, sagot po tayo, no? I'm giving you time to answer. Sige po, let's share our answer. May sumasagot po ng letter A, rating scale. May sumasagot po ng letter B, checklist. Okay? Let's first eliminate. Sige, let's first eliminate. Let's go back to the STEM. Ang nasa STEM natin ay plans and design, an experiment to be performed. That is the objective. Okay? Now, if that is your objective, effective bang gamitin si paper and pencil test? Yes or no? If your objective is plans and design, effective bang gamitin si pen and paper? Or traditional? Yes or no? Of course, the answer is no. Kung hindi pwede si pen and paper, syempre, hindi rin pwede si essay. Kasi essay is an example of it. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, let's eliminate your C and D. So, we only have two choices. Rating scale or checklist. Now, inside the classroom, para mas mapadali natin yung trabaho ng isang teacher, ano? Anong ginagamit ni teacher to check or to assess the learners kapag siya ay gusto niyang parang mabilisan na lang, ano? Mabilisang pag-check ng kanyang activities. Is it rating scale or checklist? Okay? For easiest way, especially kapag sobrang dami ng learners mo, no? Para mabilisan yung ating checking, mabilisan ang grading. Anong ginagamit ni teacher? Is it rating scale or checklist? Is it rating scale or checklist? Yes, tama po, no? Ang tamang sagot for this item is your checklist. Okay, the correct answer here is checklist. Congratulations po, no? Para po sa mga nakakuha ng tamang sagot. The answer here is checklist. Okay, now let's move on to our next item. This is based on Data Privacy Act, no? When it comes to holding the records, keeping the records of our students. Okay? We have a scenario here. Mrs. Martin was approached by a parent who had a concern about the grade received by her daughter Mila, comparing it with the grade of Sharon, her classmate. Which of this should Mrs. Martin do? A. Refuse to show the record notebook since it is her personal property. B. Show both the record of Mila and her classmate Sharon. Or letter C, refuse to show any record without the written approval of the principal. Or letter D, show only the record of her daughter Mila. If you are Mrs. Martin, okay, the teacher, what are you going to do? Are you going to refuse? Are we going to refuse? Syempre hindi. Okay? Hindi tayo magre-refuse. Are we allowed to show both record of Mila and her classmate? Are we allowed? Yes or no? Teachers, tayo po ba ay allowed na ipakita yung record ng dalawang estudyante sa isang parent? Yes or no? Okay, syempre no. The answer there is no. So, ibig sabihin, hindi po kasama si letter B. How about refuse to show any record nang walang written approval? If it's just a simple record, kailangan pa ba ng approval ni principal? Yes or no? Okay? For example, I want to see the record of my daughter. Kailangan ko ba ng letter from the principal? Okay, the answer there is no again. So, ibig sabihin, ang gagawin po ni teacher, kung kayo po si Mrs. Martin, ang gagawin nyo po ay ipakita nyo lang yung record ng kanyang anak. But, hindi kasama yung record ng kanyang classmate na si Sharon. Kasi po yun po ay kasama sa Data Privacy Act natin. Okay, especially school records because this is confidential. Okay? This is confidential. Okay, this is confidential. That's why hindi po allowed na makita ni teacher ay ni parent B Okay? Ang record ng student B natin. Okay? Let's move on to our next question. Very good po, no? Sa mga nakuha ng tamang sagot, it's letter D po, hindi po letter B. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi po natin pwede. Again, hindi po pwedeng ipakita ni teacher ang record ng ibang estudyante. Okay, sa hindi naman niya kaano-ano. Naku ha, kung hindi po guardian, hindi parent, hindi niya pati pwedeng ipakita, no? That's why hindi po siya pwede. Okay, yun po mga sumasagot ng letter B dyan. Ibahin na po natin ang ating schema when it comes to this question. Because the answer here is letter B. Ayan, congratulations po sa mga nakuha ng tamang sagot. Now, let's move on to our next question. Okay? Which of the following is the correct practice in handling students' records? Okay? Ang question po na ito ay when it comes to record keeping. School records. Okay? It's either Form 137 or Form 138. Okay? 1. Records are kept for safekeeping in filing cabinets. 2. Feedbacks about children's performance are given to parents. 3. Permanent records are brought home for teachers to accomplish. I guess I have mentioned this last session. 4. Records are accessible to any interested person to show transparency. Especially kung may mga reklamo, ano? Na bakit yung anak ko top 2, I want to check the record of the top 1 kung talaga bang deserving niyang maging top 1. Okay, I want to check. Okay? Kung ikaw ang teacher, papaano mo po i-handle ang records ng ng iyong mga estudyante? Okay? Is it 1 and 2? Is it 3 and 4? Is it 1 and 3? Or 1 and 4? Ayan, I can see answers, ano? Sabi dyan, letter C daw. Si Sir Rich, letter C. Si Ma'am Divine, letter A. Together with Ma'am Angeline, yan. Letter A po ang sagot nila. Okay, let's see, let's see. Okay, let's see. Now, let's eliminate. When we're talking of records, kailangan bang nakikip into a safe cabinets ang mga records natin? Siyempre, yes. Okay? Kailangan bang ibigay, okay, ang feedback sa parents? Kailangan bang malaman ni parents ang performance ng kanilang mga anak? Siyempre, yes. Inuuwi po ba ang mga uh, permanent records sa bahay? Inuuwi po ba ang mga permanent records sa bahay? Yes or no? Let's see, kasi may sumasagot ng letter C eh. Inuuwi po ba ang permanent records sa bahay? Ni teacher ha? Ni teacher. Inuuwi ba ni teacher? Pwede bang iuwi ni teacher ang permanent record ng mga estudyante sa bahay? Okay, the answer there is no. Now, number 4. Ang permanent record ba ay accessible kahit kanino? Okay? Pwede bang makita ng kahit sino ang record ng isang estudyante? Again, the answer is no. Okay, so ibig sabihin po, the answer on this question is only 1 and 2. Please remember that concept. Hindi po pwedeng makita ng iba because that is confidential. Okay, so the answer here is 1 and 2 only. Okay, very good po, no? Sa mga nakuha ng tamang sagot, congratulations. Okay, we are learning. So the answer here is 1 and 2 only. Okay, now let's move on to our next question. If the learner did not meet the expectations in not more than 2 learning areas, what will be the decision of the teacher? This is actually an item sa board exam. Okay? Ano po ang decision ni teacher kapag bumagsak siya? Okay? Hindi naman humihigit sa 2 learning areas. Okay? Is it letter A? Promote the learner to the next grade level. Letter B, kailangang mag-remedial ng estudyante. Letter C, siya po ay ma-retained sa same grade level. Is it letter D, pagalitan si learner dahil hindi niya ginawa ang kanyang responsibilidad? ungtam si learner. 'Di ba? Ungtam sa Ilocano po ay pagalitan si learner. Ipahiya siya sa loob ng klase. So kung ikaw si teacher, based on DepEd Order number 8, series of 2015 po ang question na ito. Okay? Ano po kaya ang pwedeng maging desisyon ng isang guro kung, okay? So what is the answer po for this question? Ano po ang gagawin ni teacher kung bumagsak po, no? Not more than two learning areas. Okay, so the answer in this question is letter B. Meaning, kailangan pong ipasa ni estudyante ang kanyang remedial class. Kailangan niyang mag-take ng remedial class. Now, the question here, how are learners promoted or retained at the end of the school year? Okay, this is the question. How are learners promoted or retained at the end of the school year? Now, this table is based on DepEd Order number 8, series of 2015. This is the policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic education program, or your Republic Act number 10533, also known as the Enhanced Basic Education Program. Okay? Now, before tayo mag-start dito, no? Ano po ba yung ating passing grade? What is the passing grade? Again? Okay, what is the passing grade? Ano po ang ating passing grade sa question na ito? Ano po ang passing grade ng isang estudyante? Yes, 75. Kapag po si learner ay below 75, ano po ang ating descriptor? Is it satisfactory? Is it fairly satisfactory? Is it outstanding? Ano pong ating descriptor kapag ang grade ni learner ay below 75? Okay? Ano po ang ating descriptor kapag ang grade ni learner ay below 75? Exactly, ano? Did not meet expectation. Paano naman kung ang grade ni learner ay 80? Ano po ang ating descriptor? If the grade of the learner is 80, what is the descriptor? 80 ang grade ni learner. Okay? 80 ang grade ni learner. Is it failed? Is it fairly satisfactory? Satisfactory or outstanding? Ayan, nagkakamali pa si Sir Michael ha. Sige, bawi tayo, bawi. Exactly, kapag po 80 ang grade ni learner, that is satisfactory. So please remember, 80 is satisfactory. Now, I will mention the requirements for grades 1 to 3. Okay, and then tell me the decision. Ano ang gagawin ni teacher? Okay, for example, number 1, kapag si learner ay may grade na at least 75 in all learning areas, ano ang decision mo bilang teacher? Okay, again, kung si teacher po, si learner ay may grade na 75 sa lahat ng kanyang learning areas, ano ang decision ni teacher? Remember, 75 is fairly satisfactory. So, ibig sabihin, ang decision ni teacher ay si learner ba ay ma-retain or ma-promote? Okay, very good, ano? Si learner ay ma-promote sa next grade level. Okay, very good. How about did not meet expectations and not more than 2 learning areas? Ibig sabihin, below 75 po ang grade ni learner. Anong kailangan niyang gawin? Anong kailangang ipagawa ni teacher? Ano ang decision mo bilang teacher? Okay, kung kanina mapopromote siya, ngayon, anong gagawin ni teacher? Kung hindi po na-meet ni learner ang expectation. Exactly, ano? The keyword there is remedial. Kailangan pong mag-remedial ni learner. Kailangan niyang ipasa ang kanyang remedial. Okay? How about did not meet expectations in 3 or more learning areas? Okay, ibig sabihin, bagsak po si learner sa tatlo at higit pang subjects. Ano po ang decision mo bilang teacher? Okay, exactly. Siya po ay ma-retain sa same grade level. Ibig sabihin, mag-uulit si learner. Okay, yun po ang magiging decision natin ha, mga teachers. At ito po ay based sa ating DepEd Order number 8 series of 2015. Okay, let's move on. How about for grades 4 to 10 learners? Okay, kapag ang requirements again, kapag siya ay naka-75 sa lahat ng learning areas, ang gagawin ni teacher ay i-promote si learner sa next grade level. Okay? Kapag po siya ay bagsak not more than 2 learning areas, kailangan niya pong ipasa ang kanyang remedial. Kailangan ng intervention. Tama yon. Okay? Kapag po siya ay bagsak sa tatlo at higit pang learning areas, siya po ay ma-retained sa same grade level. How about pasado si learner sa lahat ng learning areas in elementary? Ibig sabihin siya ay grade 6 na. Ano ang decision ni teacher? Si learner ay pasado sa lahat ng learning areas. Ano po ang decision ni teacher? Okay? Ito po ay lumalabas sa board exam ha. Kapag po si learner ay pasado sa lahat ng subjects niya sa grade 6, ano po ang magiging decision ni teacher? Okay? Ano po ang decision ni teacher? Exactly, siya po ay bibigyan ng certificate of completion at siya po ay ma-promote to junior high school. Exactly, promoted po si learner sa junior high school. Okay? Same with grade 10. Kapag siya po ay kompleto, sa lahat ng kanyang learning areas, siya ay 75 above, siya po ay makakatanggap ng Certificate of Completion of Junior High School at siya po ay ma-promote sa ating Senior High School. Okay? Also with grade 11 and 12. Ganun din po ang scenario sa ating grade 11 and grade 12. Now, when we are talking of this, a summary lang po ng ating table, dapat po si learner 75 or higher ang kanyang grade para po siya ay ma-promote into next grade level. Okay? And for grades 1 to 10, kapag po may dalawa siyang bagsak, at least 2, kailangan niyang mag-take ng remedial classes. Okay? Now, let's talk about the computation of this final grade. Okay, last session, we have discussed yung grading system natin. The grading system when it comes to your um grade 1 to grade 10 students. Okay? At nakadepende yan sa kung anong subject. Let's have a recall. If you're teaching language subject, ano po ang weight ng ating written, ng ating performance, at ng ating quarterly assessment? Okay, what is the weight? Ano po ang percentage nating binibigay? Ano po ang percentage for languages, for Filipino and English? What is the percentage for written work, performance, and quarterly assessment? Okay, very good. That is 30, 50, 20. Please, i-memorize po natin ito. Okay, very good. That is 30, 50, 20. Okay? How about math and science? How about math and science po? Ano po ang ating percentage for their WW, PT, and QA? Okay, ilang percent po ang written work, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment for math and science subject? Okay, very good. That is 40, 40, 20. How about for MAPE and TLE? Ilang percent po for MAPE and TLE? Remember, these are skilled subjects. Kaya mas mataas ang kanilang performance task because we want to see outcome, we want to see product. Okay? Exactly. This is 20, 60, 20. Okay, very good po tayo, no? That you were able to memorize. That is 20, 60, 20. Now, how to recompute the final grade? Kapag po ang computed na grade ni learner ay below 75, okay? At ang kanyang grade after niyang i-take. For example, let's say ang grade ni learner ay 73. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi na-meet ni learner yung expectation which is 75. At ikaw ay nag-conduct ng remedial class. Okay? And during this remedial class, ang grade ni learner ay naging 80. Okay? Ano ang gagawin ni teacher? Yung 80 ba ang magiging final grade ni learner? Or kailangang i-plus yung kanyang initial grade na 73 and divide that into 2? Ano po ang decision? Is it 80 the final grade? Yung kanyang grade sa remedial? Or kailangang i-add and then divide to 2? Ano po? Okay? Are we going to divide it to 2 or yung 80 na ang kanyang magiging grade? Let me see. This is also based on Deped Order number 8 series of 2015. Okay, exactly you have to add the initial grade, yung kanyang bagsak na grado at yung kanyang at yung kanyang grade sa kanyang remedial class. At yun po yung kanyang magiging recomputed final grade. Okay, at yun po yung ating isusulat sa kanyang class record. Yun pong pasado na. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi po pwedeng maglagay ng failed grade doon sa ating Form 138, even sa Form 137. Okay, kailangan pong mag-undergo ni learner ng intervention at ng remedial class. Kung talagang hindi kinaya, saka po tayo mag-retain ng learners natin. Okay, very good. Now, let's move on to our next question. Okay, let's have an application. When should the learner be retained in the same grade level? Again, when should the learner be retained in the same grade level? Is it A, when he has a final grade of at least 75 in all learning areas? Or when he did not meet expectations in 3 or more learning areas? Or when did not meet expectations in not more than 2 learning areas, or when he did not pass the remedial class? Okay, kailan po ma-retain ang isang learner sa same grade level? Is it Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or Delta? Ayan, I can see your answer is Bravo. When he did not meet expectations in 3 or more learning areas. Okay, very good po. No? The answer on this item is Bravo. Ayan, very good po tayo, no? We're learning, we're learning. Okay, let's move on to our next item. Which of the following is a characteristic of Criterion reference teaching strategies? Okay, we are talking of your Criterion reference. Ano kayang ibig sabihin ng Criterion? Okay, sige, let's recall, let's recall. Okay, A, desired behaviors are specified. For example, given 10 sentences containing errors in noun-verb agreement, the student will be able to correct them with 100% accuracy. Letter B, adequate instruction is given to enable students to perform the behaviors that are specified. Or letter C, using measures such as tests or specified performance, the teacher makes an analysis of whether objectives are being met. Or letter D, all of the above. Okay? Sabi ni Sir Dave, dapat daw nami-meet ang standards. Tama. Kasi when we're talking of criterion, lagi pong naka-base dyan. Lagi pong kasama ni criterion ang standards, set of standards, criteria, may rubric. So, ibig sabihin, ano po dyan ang nagpapakita ng Criterion Reference Teaching Strategy? Letter A lang po ba? Letter B po ba? Letter C? Or lahat po yan ay isang example ng Criterion Reference? Ayan, parang tayo po ay nakalimot na, no? Sa ibig sabihin ng criterion. May sumasagot po ng letter B, ng letter C, ng letter D. Ayan, nakalimot talaga tayo sa ating criterion reference. Sige, let's have a recall. Mukha pong nakalimutan natin, ano, ang ibig sabihin ng criterion. Okay, let's analyze. Okay, let's analyze the question. Sige, balikan ulit. Yan, may sumasagot ng letter A. Ayan, parang dumadami ang letter D, ano? Na-realize ata nila na ang tamang sagot ay letter D. Okay, sige po. Criterion reference, teaching strategies. Okay. Lahat po ito ay example ng criterion reference. Okay, now, let's talk about your criterion reference and norm reference. Sabi kanina, pag sinasabing criterion reference, meaning a student is being compared into a predetermined standard or into a learning goal, performance level, or other criterion or criteria. Again, saan po kino-compare si learner? Siya po ay kino-compare sa criteria. Si learner po ay kino-compare sa predetermined standard. Okay, doon po kino-compare si learner. Okay? And also, criterion reference test, person's performance is compared directly to a certain standard. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi po nakakaapekto kung ano yung performance ng ibang estudyante. So ibig sabihin, kino-compare lang si learner sa isang set of criteria, sa isang predetermined standard. So hindi kailangang pakialaman yung performance ng ibang estudyante. Kasi you're going to compare them on a set standard. That is your criterion. Again, the keyword for criterion, dapat may criteria. Dapat may standard. Okay, that is our keyword for criterion. Let's talk about your norm reference. Kanina, si criterion, siya ay kino-compare sa set of standards, sa criteria. Kapag sinasabing norm reference, siya po ay kino-compare saan? Sa ibang tao. Siya po ay kino-compare sa ibang grupo. Yung performance ng school na to ay kino-compare sa ibang school at sa iba pang school. Okay? Kapag nilaranking yung mga estudyante sa klase, that is an example of norm reference. Kasi kino-compare mo yung performance ng isang estudyante sa iba pang estudyante. That is norm reference. Okay? Yun po ang pagkakaiba ng criterion reference at ng ating norm reference. Now, I'll give you an example and tell me if this is norm or criterion. Again, I will give examples here and then tell me if this is an example of a norm reference or a criterion reference. Let's see. If the assessment is competitive, is this norm or criterion? Okay, sagot po tayo mga future teachers. Kapag po ang assessment sa loob ng classroom ay competitive, okay? Ito po ba ay norm or ito po ay criterion? Okay, so ibig sabihin talagang gusto makipag-compete ng mga learners. Hindi gusto ko maging top 1 Gusto ko yung highest Hindi pwede. Dapat mas highest ako kay ganito. Hindi, dapat ako yung maging highest compared to dito. 'Di ba? Remember, sa loob ng classroom, hindi dapat tayo nag-set ng competition. Pero syempre, hindi yan maiiwasan, ano? Hindi yan maiiwasan ng mga estudyante. This is actually happening inside the classroom. Hindi maiiwasan ng competition. Okay, yan. Very good. Ano, most of us, ang ating sagot ay norm. Okay, very good. The answer for this is norm reference. Okay, very good po tayo. How about judgments? Judgment about performance can be made against set, pre-specified criteria, and standards. So, ibig sabihin, yung performance ng mga estudyante ay kino-compare sa pre-specified criteria and standards. Ito po ba ay norm or criterion? At Bakit kaya kailangang gumamit ni teacher ng criteria or uh, rubrics kapag siya ay nagja-judge ng performance task ng kanyang mga estudyante? O sige, ito po ay lumalabas sa board exam. Bakit kaya gumagamit si teacher ng criteria or ng rubric kapag siya ay nag-i-evaluate ng performance task or kahit anong klase ng activity? Exactly, Sir Mark Johnson, ano? Para maging objective po si teacher. Exactly, for objectivity. Kasi minsan, hindi maiiwasan, ano, when we are assessing, meron po tayong mga iba't ibang errors. First error we have here is about personal error. Ano po yung ibig sabihin ng personal error? Okay? Or personal biases. Minsan, hindi maiiwasan na bigyan ng mas mataas na grade yung isang estudyante dahil nga sa kilala ni teacher, dahil nga sa kamag-anak niya, or dahil nga sa anak ni teacher yung estudyante kaya mataas ang grade. Dahil nga sa jowa ni teacher yung estudyante, ay, jowa ko to, dapat mataas ang grade niya. Kahit hindi naman dapat ganun kataas. Exactly, para po maiwasan ang favoritism. That's why gumagamit tayo ng rubric para maiwasan yung personal bias. Hindi po maiiwasan sa loob ng classroom. Yung merong mga capitalism, charot. May mga kapit-kapit tayo dyan. Okay? May mga kapit. Yes, exactly, para ma-avoid po natin yung bias. Okay, yung mga personal bias natin. Okay, may mga kapit yung mga estudyante, ayun na, hindi pumapasok dahil nga sa alam niya ng papasa na siya. So, dapat gumamit tayo ng rubric para lahat po ay pantay-pantay. Sabi natin last time, fair learning environment. Okay, again, dapat fair learning environment. We see our learners as lahat sila ay equal. Kapag nasa loob ng classroom, walang anak ng kapitan, walang anak ng mayor, walang anak ng vice president, walang anak ng kung sino pa mang Poncio Pilato. Lahat sila ay pare-parehas na mga estudyante. That's why we have to treat them equally. Okay, we have to treat them equally. Kung ano yung kailangan ng isa, kung ano yung binibigay mong treatment sa isa, dapat din ay maranasan ng iba. It's a fair learning environment. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang sagot po dito ay C, Criterion reference. Okay? Exactly, ano? Tama yan, sir. Kailangan talaga ng criteria para malaman din, ano, kung nami-meet ba ni learner yung mga sinet mong standards, kung na-achieve ba ni learner yung mga objectives mo. Tandaan natin, ano, kapag tayo po ay gumagawa ng isang task, ng isang activity, lagi po niyang kaakibat ang objectives. Remember, hindi po tayo pwedeng magbigay ng isang activity na walang kinalaman sa objectives natin. You always start with your objective, go back to your objective after the instruction, and look back to your objectives kapag ikaw ay gumagawa ng exam. Okay, lagi pong basis si objective, si learning outcome, si intended outcome, or si learning competency. Lagi po siyang naka-align doon. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Involves making judgment about an individual's achievement by ranking and comparing their performance with others on same assessment. Okay? Ang ating keyword dito ay ranking, comparing others. So, ibig sabihin, ito po ba ay norm o criterion? Again, ranking, comparing others. Is this norm or criterion? Ayan. Very good, ano? The answer for this item is norm reference. Kasi we compare the learners, we rank them. Okay, this is norm. Okay, ang board exam, ang let natin. Ayan. Sabi ni Crystal, no, kapag daw ikaw ay maraming manliligaw, gamitin mo ang norm reference. I-compare mo daw sila. At dapat gamitin mo rin ang criterion, Crystal, ano? Dapat meron ka din mga meron ka rin mga predetermined criterias, no? Dapat ang jowa ko ay ganito. Si letter A ba ay ganito compared to letter A? Then i-check mo. No, meron kang criteria and then you also compare them. O, tama yan. Also with our board exam, ang ating board exam po ay parehas na criterion and norm. Why? Ang ating set criteria sa board exam ay 75%. Tama po ba? Kailangan ma-target ang 75% because that is the passing score. Kapag ikay pumasa, 75%, na-achieve mo yung criteria sinet ng PRC, that is criterion. Kapag ni-ranking ni PRC lahat ng performance ng mga takers sa buong Pilipinas at pinalabas ni PRC ang ranking natin from rank 1 to rank 10, okay, that is norm. Kapag pinalabas ni PRC kung sino ang top 10 schools, that is also norm. Kasi kino-compare ni PRC ang performance ng bawat schools. Kino-compare ni PRC ang performance ng bawat takers. Tama yan, sir. The passing. Okay, your board exam is both norm and criterion. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Specify criteria or standards. Na ulit lang, ano? Standards, criteria, this is criterion. Okay? Standards, criteria, this is criterion. How about focus is on mastery with the achievement representing a minimum, optimum, or essential standard. Ang ating keyword dito is mastery. Kung gusto mong makita ang mastery sa learning, mastery when it comes to a certain, okay? Is it norm or criterion? Ayan, may sumasagot ng criterion. Okay, gusto mong makita yung mastery eh. So, ibig sabihin, gumamit ka ng criteria. Gumamit ka ng standards. Tama po, no? So, ang sagot sa item na ito is criterion reference. Another keyword for criterion is mastery of learning. Another keyword is mastery of learning. Exactly. Let's move on. Do not utilize criteria. Okay, common sense. Hindi na gumagamit ng criteria. Inuulit natin yan. This is norm reference. Hindi kailangan ng criteria kasi nga kino-compare lang sila sa iba. So that is norm reference. Okay? Record via rating scale or set of scoring rubrics. Again, ang ating keyword, walang standard. Walang criteria kung nababasa dyan. So norm yan. Feeling ko norm ito. Okay? Pero may rubrics. This is also synonymous to your criteria. Okay? Synonymous also to your standards. That's why the answer here is still this is criterion. Okay? Tama po tayo. Ang sagot po dito ay criterion. Okay. Now, let's apply kung talaga bang ating naintindihan ang pagkakaiba ng norm at reference. Norm reference and criterion reference. Sige, let us see on this item. Which of the following questions indicate a norm reference or norm referred interpretation? Sorry, again, which of the following questions indicate a norm referred interpretation? A. How does the pupil test performance in our school compared with the other schools? Letter B. How does a pupil's test performance in reading and mathematics compare? Letter C. What type of remedial work will be most helpful for a slow learning pupil? Ano kayang ginawa ni teacher sa letter C? How about letter D? Which pupils have achieved master of computational skills? Okay. Hala. May sumasagot ng letter D. Hala. May sumasagot ng letter D. Ayan, most of your answers is letter A. Pero may naiiba. Letter D daw. Sige, ano po ang sagot sa item na ito? Ano ba si letter D? Which pupils have achieved master of computational skills? Sa letter D ba, si teacher ba ay nag-compare? O si letter B nag-compare siya. Pero ang kinompare ni letter B ay reading and mathematics. So legwak ganun yan. Legwak ganun. Si letter C naman, siya ay nag-suggest ng remedial work na mas makakatulong sa mga slow learners. Okay? Yes, tama po tayo. The answer here is letter A. Okay, ibig sabihin, si teacher, Okay, sorry, kino-compare natin yung performance, okay, ng isang school sa ibang school. So the answer here is letter A. Okay, very good po tayo. Yes, number 10 pa lang po tayo, Ma'am Lilibet. Okay, so very good po tayo. The answer for this question is letter A. Okay, exactly. Next item. When a teacher reports the outcome of norm reference objective test, he or she includes blank. Saan po ang kasama kapag tayo po ay nagre-report, okay, ng outcome sa ating norm reference objective? Is it the performance of all students in the class? Is it the objectives that were to be measured? Kasama ba yun? Kasama bang objective sa norm reference? Or the items missed by each student, the mode for the group? Huh? Kasama ba yun? Or lahat po yan? Okay? Ibig sabihin, we are reporting the outcome. Is it letter A, letter B, letter C, or all of the above? Ayan. I can see your answers. Ano letter A ang sagot natin? For this item, our answer here is letter A. Letter A, letter A. Okay? Now, the answer for this item is letter D. Lahat po ito ay kasama. Tandaan po natin, kasama po si objectives. Kailangan din pong malaman ni learner yung kanyang na-miss out. Okay? So, lahat po ito ay kasama. Ayan, ha? Kasama po lahat to, ha? Okay, next item. Okay, next item po tayo. For mastery learning, yan. Ang ating keyword is mastery. Nabudol daw si Ryan ng all. Okay? For mastery of learning. Ayan, mali tayo ha. Mali tayo doon. So please, please, paluin natin ang ating mga paa. Paluin po natin ang ating mga paa kasi nagkamali tayo sa item na yon. Okay, how about this item? Mastery learning. Ayan na, nakabold na yung keyword. Mastery learning. And in line with the outcome-based evaluation model, which elements should be present? Okay? Which element? Is it non-provision of independent learning? Is it the construction of norm reference? Or construction of criterion reference? Or inclusion of non-performance objectives? Exactly, ang ating keyword na binold ko dito is mastery. So, ibig sabihin, this is construction of your criterion reference test. Ayan. Very good po tayo. Very good, for this item. Now, let's move on. A test where the results are obtained from a large group. The evaluation is based on certain norm or standard set. Hence, the norm becomes the basis of the test evaluation. Is it criterion? Is this summative? Is this norm? Is this formative? Baka sabihin nyo, Sir, yan po ay summative. Kasi results, no? Evaluation, so summative po yan. Aha, dahil dun ba ang keyword? Tandaan natin, kapag tayo po ay sumasagot, don't just look at the keywords. I-analyze, i-comprehend ang question. You have 45 seconds to answer per item. Okay, you have 45 seconds. You have 3 hours to finish your Prof Ed. So, wag sagot ng sagot. Wag tingin ng tingin saan. Wag tingin ng tingin sa keyword. Ayan, tumitingin sa keyword. Nabasa siguro ang standard, set standard, kaya pinili ang letter A. Siguro nabasa si evaluation, kaya pinili si summative. Isa puso ang tanong. Sabi dito, naging basis natin, okay, ng evaluation ang norm. So, ibig sabihin yung group ang naging basis natin. Ito po ba ay criterion? Hindi po yan criterion ha. Basahin ang tanong. A test where the results are obtained from a large group. The evaluation is based on certain norm or standard set. Okay, so the answer here is your norm reference. Exactly, Sir Gapasin. Okay, the last statement matters a lot. Okay, so wag agad sasagot ano, baka mamaya nabasa niyo yung keyword sa pinakaunang sentence, eh, iba pala yung nasa pinakadulo, kasi may hence dito. So the answer here is letter C. Ayan, very good po yung mga nakakuha ng tamang sagot. And para po sa mga hindi nakakuha ng tamang sagot, improve po tayo. Okay, ibig sabihin, pwede po tayong magkamali today, pero hindi po tayo pwedeng magkamali sa mismong araw ng board exam natin. Ayan, okay lang po tayong magkamali ngayon ha, pero sa susunod hindi na po pwedeng magkamali. Okay? Let's move on to our next item. For mastery of learning, naulit to. Okay? Yes, tama yan, Sir Silvestre. Yung hens talaga ang nagdadala. Okay, mastery of learning. Okay, gusto nating makita ang mastery of learning ng estudyante ko. Sila ba ay natuto? O sige nga, mag-set ako ng criteria. Okay, so ibig sabihin, this is Criterion Reference Test. Okay, the answer po for this item is bravo. Okay, next item. Okay, in group norming, the percentile rank of the examinee is blank. Okay, we are talking of group norming. Ayan na. Ano kaya ang application ng norm reference sa group or sa large group or sa isang klase? Is it dependent on his batch of examinees or affected by the SKU distribution or unaffected by the SKU distribution or independent on his batch of examinees? Okay, ang rank ko po ba ng isang estudyante ay nakadepende or hindi? Okay, hindi po kasama dyan si B and C. So it's either A or D. Let's eliminate B and C. Is good distribution. Okay? Is it A or D? Siya ba ay dependent on his batch examinees or independent? Ayan, may sumasagot ng letter D. May sumasagot ng letter B. Again, this is norming. Group norming ito, norm reference. So, ibig sabihin, kino-compare natin sila sa iba at nakadepende ang magiging rank mo sa kung anong rank nung ay sa kung ano yung score nung iba. Kung for example, si rank 1, 95 siya. 95 yung kanyang percentage. At ikaw ay 82. O, so ibig sabihin, may chances na pwedeng bumaba yung rank mo kasi ang taas ng sinet ni rank 1. Okay? Yes. So the answer here is letter A, dependent on his batch of examinees. Okay, nakadepende po yan sa batch natin. Okay, next one. The main purpose in administering a pretest and posttest to students is to blank. We are talking of our pretest and posttest. Again, nung ating first session, nabanggit ko po si pretest as part of our assessment for learning. Ang ating mnemonics doon ay for the fresh naman ng person. Yun po yung ating keyword. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yun po yung mga types. No? Types ng ating formative assessment or assessment for learning. We have your formative assessment such as short quizzes, activities that is done before and during instruction. Also, we have placement. Si placement ay ginagawa siya for basis for relative instruction. Si letter D, diagnostic test is to measure, okay, the strength and weaknesses of the learners, their recurring difficulties, okay? Si letter A, aptitude test, is a test for a particular man ay ginagamit to assess the entry knowledge. Tandaan, kapag po ang pinag-uusapan ay pre-test or pretest, okay, this is to assess the entry knowledge. Gusto kong i-assess ang schema ng aking mga estudyante. Kanino pong theory ang schema? Schema theory. Kanino po yun? Okay, schema theory. Schema theory. Sino po ang proponent ng schema theory? Kasama si schema, assimilation, and accommodation. Sino po ang schema theory? schema under cognitive. Exactly, that is your John Piaget. Okay, cognitive theory of development, that is your John Piaget, is schema, assimilation, and accommodation. Okay? Si pretest is to, yun nga, to assess, ano, yung kanilang entry knowledge. Kapag post-test naman yan, post-test is an example of outcome-based assessment. I'll repeat, post-test is an example of outcome-based assessment. Ibig sabihin, gusto nating makita kung may pagbabago ba. Minsan, ang ginagawa ni teacher, same set of exam. Kung ano yung pina-exam niya ng pre-test, yun yung ipapa-exam niya ng post-test para makita niya kung may changes. Kung tumaas ba yung score ni learner from that of pre-test or mas bumaba yung score ni learner. Okay? Kung mas tumaas, ibig sabihin may changes. May pagbabago sa learning. Okay? Kung wala, ibig sabihin, walang nangyari sa learning. Okay, so what is the answer? Is it A, to measure gains in learning? Is it letter B, measure the value of the material taught? Or keep adequate records? Or accustom the students of frequent testing? Exactly, Ma'am Barrientos, na this is a predictive validity. Exactly po, tama po yan. Okay? What's the answer po? Mm-hmm. What's the answer po for this item? Okay, yes, the answer for this item is letter A. Okay, to measure gains in learning. Kung meron po bang pagbabago, meron po bang development, that is letter A. That is your pre-test and post-test. Okay, next item. Ayan, nabanggit ko na. What kind of assessment is a post-test? Oh, nabanggit ko na to. Is it a process? Is this outcome? Is this diagnostic or self-assessment? Okay, ano pong klaseng assessment si post-test na ginagawa after instruction? Is this process? Is this outcome? Is this diagnostic or self-assessment? Okay. Tama po, no? Kapag po ating pinag-uusapan ay post-test, this is an example of outcome assessment. This is bravo, bravo, bravo. Ayan. Okay, next item po tayo. Which type of test measures students' thinking, organizing, and written communication skills? Or we're talking of thinking, organizing, and written communication skills. We are talking of a type of test. Is it a short answer? Is it completion? Is it essay? Or extemporaneous speech? Ayan, may sumasagot ng letter B for this item. Okay, sagot po tayo. May sumasagot ng letter B, may sumasagot ng letter C, essay, essay, ayan. Okay. Kapag po si teacher ay gumagamit ng extemporaneous speech type of activity or task, are we developing the thinking and organizing skill of the learners? Yes. Pero hindi po siya written. Okay? So, kung ang sagot nyo yan, letter D, legwak, ganun yan. Kasi hindi po yan written. Yan po ay oral. Kung nakalagay sa question natin is oral communication skill, then pwede po ang sagot diyan ay si letter D. Pero dahil written, hindi po kasama si letter D. How about short answer? Kapag ba short answer, can we develop the thinking, organizing skill, or it's more of memorization? Kapag si letter A, short answer, memorization ba yan? Or pwedeng siya ang sagot? Siyempre, hindi. So, let's eliminate letter A. How about letter B and C? Si letter B, completion type. Ito yung, for example, you're going to recite the mission and vision of your school, ano? Tapos may mga blanks doon. Okay? Uh, ang international blah 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 ay blank. Then you have to write the word there. Exactly fill in the blanks. Okay? So the answer for this item is essay. Yes, to develop the thinking, organizing, and written communication skills, you're going to use your essay. Okay? Exactly, Sir Dave, with the use of numbers, symbols, or phrases po ang short answer. That's why it's more on communication. Okay? With the use of names, numbers, symbols, or even memojis. Ganun yung ginagamit ng mga teachers for their short answer. Okay, tama po yan. Okay, next item. Now, let's talk about your methods of assessment. Kanina na-mention ko sa inyo, no, in our first part of the discussion, I've mentioned about the three methods of assessment. We have three methods. The first one is we have traditional assessment. Kapag sinasabi ni teacher traditional, ano pong ibig sabihin ng traditional? It's more of pen and paper. Gumagamit si teacher ng pen and paper assessment that is traditional. Okay? Ano pong ibig sabihin ng alternative assessment? At ano po yung mga example ng alternative assessment? Sige nga po, future teachers. Sige, let's recall. Ano po yung mga iba't ibang examples ng alternative assessment? Okay? Kung gustong gumamit ni teacher ng alternative assessment, okay, exactly. One example, tama, Ma'am Marientos, performance task. Tama, tama, Sir Gapasin. We have portfolio. Field trip. Field trip. Kasama po ba si field trip? Yeah, performance task, portfolio, and your, how do you call this? Journals, journal entries. Okay? Yun po yung mga examples natin ng alternative. Ibig sabihin, aside from traditional assessment, ano pa yung pwede mong ipagawa para ma-assess yung mga learners? Aside from pen and paper, ano pa yung pwedeng magamit ni teacher? Ito po yung mga journals, portfolio, at ito po yung ating, how do you call that, performance task. Yun pong binanggit ni Sir na field trip, yaan naman po ay kasama sa retention of learning. Diyan po papasok yung ating cone of experience by Edgar Dale. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the more na mas hands-on yung isang activity, mas mataas po yung retention ng learning. Yun po yung ibig sabihin, yun po yung, doon po papasok yung field trip. Okay? For example, no? For example, doon po kasi sa cone of experience ni, how do you call this, ni Edgar Dale, may iba't iba pong examples doon. Okay? Please write this in your papers. Okay? Yes, more on senses yun, ano? The more na mas maraming senses po ang ating na, how do you call this? Yung naibibigay dun sa isang activity, mas mataas po yung retention ng learning. Okay? Ilagay niyo po itong mnemonics na ito sa inyong mga papers. R, H, P, dash, bed, VED, dash, ko, dash, sire. Okay, again, that is your arch HP Vedcosire. RHP Vedcosire. Okay, yun po yung ating mnemonics. Your R there stands for reading. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa cone of experience ni Edgar Dale, reading po yung may pinakamababang retention. Kumbaga, kapag yan ay hierarchy, ang sumunod po sa hearing is okay, yung letter P po doon is photos, yung paggamit ng photos, paggamit ng pictures ni teachers. Okay, thank you Sir Mark, reading. Thank you sir, sige. Reading, ayan. Yung letter V natin doon ay videos. Okay, yung paggamit ni teacher ng videos. So, ibig sabihin, kapag gumagamit si teacher ng video, this is multi-sensory na yan. Kasi we can hear, we can see. Okay, kapag videos, medyo mataas ang retention ng learning. Kasi nakikita ni learner, narinig ni learner. Okay? Letter E is exhibit. Exhibit. Okay, si letter E po is exhibit. Okay, letter E is exhibit. Yung mga art exhibit natin, those examples. Letter D, this is your demonstration. Okay, my hands-on demonstration. demonstration. Okay, your CO is contrived experiences. Kapag po sinabing contrived experiences, ito po yung pinakamalapit na sa katotohanan, pero hindi pa siya yung totoo. Okay, siguro gumagamit si teacher sa mga models. Okay, that is your contrived experiences. Yung letter SI natin dyan, sa SIRE natin, is your simulation activities. Okay, mga simulation activities, exactly simulation activities. Yung ating is your reality. So, ibig sabihin, ito na yung totoong application. Ito na yung totoong konsepto. Dahil nabanggit po ni Sir yung field trip niya, nag-sideline ako dito. Okay, yun po yung ibig sabihin ng ating um, Edgar Dale Cone of Experience. Let's repeat. Ito, yung nakapin. Pakipin po si Sir Mark Johnson de la Peña, yung kanyang message dito na RHP Vedcosire. Pakipin po, sir. Yan, yung RHP Vedcosire natin, the Edgar Dale's Cone of Experience. We have letter R, reading. Okay, we have your hearing. Okay, we have your pictures, your photos. We have videos, exhibits, demonstrations. We have your contrived experiences, simulation, and the reality. Okay, exactly, sir. Gapasino, the more direct the experience is, the more na mas mataas po ang retention. The more na mas magiging meaningful yung learning, mas magiging effective siya, at mas magiging experiential. Okay, the more na mas hands-on yan. No, kaya ngayon sa ating K-12 curriculum, pahapyaw na din po, ano? Kaya po ngayon sa ating K-12 curriculum, tayo ay student-centered. Ibig sabihin, ang role ni teacher sa loob ng curriculum, ng K-12 curriculum is just a facilitator of learning. Si learner po ang pinakasentro ng pagkatuto. So, ibig sabihin, dapat hands-on lagi yung mga ginagawa ni learners. Kaya diyan po naka-align yung philosophies na pragmatism, ni John Dewey about learning by doing. Nandiyan po yung ating lifelong learning. Nandiyan po yung ating, how do you the other one? Nandiyan po yung ating paggamit ng hands-on activities. Okay, yun po yung mga iba't ibang features, okay, or yung iba't ibang philosophies na connected to K-12 curriculum. Okay, so ibig sabihin, dapat laging hands-on ang mga learners. Kasi nga, mas mataas daw po yung magiging retention ng learning kung mas mataas. Exactly, no? Si teacher sa loob ng 21st century classroom, siya ay guide on the side. Okay, siya po ay facilitator. Ang ginagawa ni teacher, kailangan niyang i-develop yung 21st century skills ng mga learners natin. If we're talking of the 21st century skills, we are dealing with the four C's. Yung ating four C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. Yun po yung gusto nating i-develop sa ating mga 21st century learners inside the 21st century classroom. Okay, yun lang po ay isang patalastas. Okay, now let's move on to the third method of assessment. Okay, the first one is we have traditional. Sabi ko kanina, this is pen and paper. Kapag sinabing alternative, aside from pen and paper, ano pa yung pwedeng gamitin ni teacher? Yun po yung portfolio, yun po yung performance task at mga journals natin. And the last one is we have authentic assessment. Ito na po yung may real life application ng concept. Ito na po yung may practical application. So kung inyong i-observe yung ating mga lesson plans, may mga nakalagay doon na, how do you call this? Practical applications of the concept. Kasi ang gustong makita doon, saan ba magagamit ni learner yung konseptong ito? For example, in my own field, I'm teaching physical education. My topic discussion is about physical fitness. Physical fitness from now and from the future. For example, that's my topic. Bago lumabas yung mga estudyante ko sa loob ng classroom, dapat may certain application. Hindi pwede na yung learning ay mawawala lang after ng paglabas ng classroom at saka lang maaalala kapag magre-review na para sa exam. Hindi po ganon. Okay? Kapag sinabi natin authentic assessment, ibig sabihin may lifelong application yung konsepto natin. Exactly. This is practical, this is hands-on, this is application to real world. Hindi po pwedeng hanggang doon na lang siya sa four corners ng classroom. Dapat ma-apply siya into real life. Ano ba ang value? Bakit kailangang malaman or bakit kailangang intindihin ang multiplication, ang addition? Bakit kailangang malaman lahat ng konsepto about science, about TLE, about values education, about araling panlipunan? Okay, dahil lang ba sa numerical grade? Dahil lang ba para makakuha ng 95 si learner? Hindi po. Okay? Exactly, no? Kaya may valuing tayo doon. Kaya dapat kapag tayo po ay gumagawa ng ating lesson plan, especially with your objectives, dapat po siya ay holistic. Okay? Meron po siyang, how do you call this? Meron po siyang cognitive, meron siyang psychomotor, at meron siyang valuing or yung ating affective. What is the value of this concept? How can I apply this concept in the real world? How can I apply this concept in my daily activities? That's an example. Okay, that is authentic assessment. So, ibig sabihin, mataas na form ng learning yan. Kasi valuing yan eh. Ang taas na form ng learning yan. Okay, that is your authentic assessment. And these are the three methods of assessments. Okay, so dapat alam na natin ano, kung saan nakapaloob si pen and paper, nasaan ang essay, nasaan ang true or false, nasaan ang completion type, nasaan ang short answer, nasaan kaya ang portfolio, nasaan kaya ang performance task, ang journals, at nasaan ang real life. Okay, so I hope na master natin yan sa mga examples na binigay ko. Okay, that is your methods of assessment. Now let's move on to our next slide. Okay, when we're talking of your assessment methods, we have these examples. The first one is we have your performance base. Ang mga example po natin ng performance base are presentation, projects, yung mga research natin na binamention dito ni Madam Cristel. Research is under performance base yan. Demonstrations, exhibitions, portfolios. Those are examples of performance-based assessment. Kapag oral questioning yan, verbal, you want to develop the communication skills, it's more of oral recitation, oral examination, sharing, conferences, interviews, yung mga small group conversations, mga talks, mga brainstormings, those are examples of oral assessment. Next one is we have observation. It's either informal or formal. Kapag si teacher ay pumasok lang doon, nag-observe ng hindi alam ng mga estudyante, that's informal. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi aware. Okay? Observation kasi is an informal form of assessment. Pwede na si teacher, habang siya ay nagkaklase, alam niya lahat yung mga ginagawa ng estudyante niya. Ibig sabihin, may mata si learner sa lahat ng side ng classroom. Ang tawag po doon ay weededness by Kunin. Okay? Paki-type po natin sa ating mga papers. Paki-type din po dito sa ating messages, ano? Weededness by Kunin. Ibig sabihin, may eyes at the back si learner. Alam niya kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga estudyante niya. Ino-observe ni teacher yung mga gestures, yung mga facial expressions. Kasi based on the facial expressions, makikita mo na this learner is not interested. Siguro bored na siya. Siguro naboboard siya sa pinapagawa ko. On that time, kailangan gumawa ni teacher ng another activity. Doon papasok yung question number 1 kanina. Multidimensional. Varied tools, varied tasks. Kung si learner ay bored na sa kanyang direct instruction ni teacher, doon na papasok yung another task. Pwede siguro on this time, magpa-activity ka na. Kasi bored na sila. Okay, thank you, Ma'am Conception. Tama, that is weededness by Kunin. Ibig sabihin, may ayats at the back ka. Ino-observe mo yung mga learners mo kahit wala ka. Kahit hindi mo sinasabi, nag-observe ka na. That is an example of informal assessment. Tandaan ha, observation is an example of informal assessment. Okay? Next, let's move on to your self-report. Ito yung ating mga attitude survey, sociometric devices, and questionnaires. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin po ng sociometric devices, ito yung parang meron tayong star, meron tayong click, and meron tayong isolate. Ano, I can't give you an example here. Wala akong pang pen. Okay? Dito sa ating sociometric, parang ang ginagawa ng teacher diyan, sasabihin ni learner na gusto niya 'tong estudyante na 'to. Kung sino yung pinili ng pinakamarami sa klase, siya yung pinaka-star. Kapag pinili mo si A at pinili ka ni A pabalik, kayong dalawa ay click. Okay? Kung walang pumili sa'yo sa klase dahil plastic ka, charing, dahil ayaw ka ng klase, ang tawag doon ay isolate. Okay? Yun po ang example ng sociometric device. Okay? Let's move on. Next one is we have your objective supply, objective selection, and also we have your essay. An example also of assessment method. Kapag sinabing objective supply yan, meron tayong mga choices. Okay? May mga choices tayo kasi nga objective siya. Okay? Projective test or personality test. Yes, tama. Okay? Kapag sinabing objective, meron tayong mga choices. May mga alternate response. May mga pagpipilian kumbaga. Okay? Your matching type, your multiple choice, your true or false. Okay? Those are examples of objective supply and objective selection. Okay? Kapag sinabing essay, this is subjective na. This is kasi opinionated na yan. Pwede na yun ay restricted at saka extended. Kapag siya ay restricted, ibig sabihin, you focus only on one topic. Extended siya kapag open to other. So, ibig sabihin si learner, pwede niyang puntuhin yung iba't ibang side. Okay? Yeah, yes po sir. Close test. Yung mga close-ended questions natin na pwedeng sagutin lang ng simple answer. Okay? Tama po. Kasama po siya sa objective. Yung ating mga close-ended. Okay? Those are examples. Okay? That is your essay, restricted and extended. Okay, now let's have an application of the concept of your assessment methods. Question. Which of the following are alternative assessment? Ayan. Saan po sa mga ito ang example ng alternative? Portfolio, exhibit, and journals, multiple choice, structured, observations, sentence completion, student self-assessment, authentic assessment and surveys, paper and pen tests, demonstration, and reports. Okay, saan po dyan ang alternative? Ayan. I can see your answers now. Ano? Letter A, letter A, letter A. Okay, very good. The answer for this question is letter A. Portfolio, exhibits, journals, performance tasks are examples of your alternative assessment. Okay, how about this item? Which type of objective test is best for evaluating mastery of facts and information? Essay. Ayan, objective test po ang ating hinahanap. Ano po kaya? Mhm. Okay, may sumagot na ng letter A. Mastery of facts and information. Is it ay, ayan na type ko na. Is it multiple, completing type, or true or false? Okay? Hindi po ito multiple choice ha. Okay, the answer here is completing type. Okay, mastery of facts lang po ka-information. Mastery ito. Okay? Kapag po ang gusto malaman ni teacher ay yung kanilang comprehension, yung kanilang analysis, especially if the questions is on application type of question or analysis type of question, yun po ay multiple choice. Again, kung gusto mo measure ang kanilang organizing, thinking, at ang kanilang written communication skill, that is essay. Okay? So the answer for this item is bravo po. Okay, it's letter B. It's completing type, ha? Please remember, mastery of facts and information, that is completing type. Okay, let's move on to our next item. An informal assessment done during class. Ay, nabanggit ko to kanina. Is this quiz, observation. Kapag po pinag-uusapan natin ang KWL, this is what I want to know, what I have learned, and what I have learned, I no sorry. KWL is know what learn. Yun pala yun. Know what learn. What I know, what I want. Okay, so what's the answer for this question po? Is this quiz, KWL, pretest, or observation? Ito po ay nabanggit ko kanina, di ba? Yes, the answer for this item is your observation. This is an example of informal assessment. Hindi po ito pretest. Again, ang ating pong keyword for pretest ay, okay, is to measure the entry knowledge of our learners. Si quiz po is an example of a formative assessment. Okay? Si quiz po ay isang example ng formative assessment. Ito po ay formal kasi ina-announce ito that we have quiz either kung siya ay surprise. Pero formal po yun. Okay? Next one. Teacher A uses alternative methods of assessment. Which of the following will she not likely use? Ayan. Gustong gumamit ni teacher ng alternative method. Okay, which of the following ay hindi kailangan or hindi example ng alternative? Is it multiple choice? Is it reflective journal? Is it oral presentation or developing portfolios? Oh, may sumasagot ng letter D. Aha. May sumasagot ng letter A. Sige, sige. Ano kaya ang sagot? Letter A. Ayan o, si Sir Mark John. Mark Johnson. Letter A. Exactly. Thank you, Sir Michael, ano, for sharing. Thank you, thank you. Tama, no? Letter A kasi is an example of traditional assessment. Si journal, this is alternative check. Oral presentation, an example of performance task kanina. Check, alternative yan. Portfolio is an example of alternative, so check. So si letter A po ang naiiba sa mga iyan. Okay, so the answer here is alpha. Next item. Now, which assessment task works best for language smart learners? Ayan. Ang item po na ito ay nakafocus sa multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner. If you want to assess, sorry, language smart learners, anong klaseng assessment task yung mas best for them? Kasi ito yung kanilang intelligence. Is it dance? Is it by demonstration? Is it by oral presentation? Or by the use of graphic organizers? Ayan, may sumasagot ng letter C. Letter C, letter C. Okay, kapag po dance, okay, kapag si dance, anong klaseng learner? Kapag si dance, anong klaseng learner? Is it existential? Is it intrapersonal? Or intra? Is that spatial? Bodily kinesthetic? Exactly. No? Kapag po dance, that is kinesthetic. How about demonstration? Still, kapag po demonstration, this is bodily kinesthetic. Paano naman kapag graphic organizers? With the use of beautiful, colorful graphic organizers. Anong klaseng learner? Ang graphic organizers. Okay? Sige. Yes, tama po tayo. Okay. Very good. Kapag po yan ay about art, about graphic organizers, okay, that is visual spatial. Tandaan ha, kapag po art, paggamit ng spaces, okay, paggamit ng organizers, ng mga charts, that is graphic organizers. So very good po. Ang sagot po sa item na ito is oral presentation. Okay, this is oral presentation. How about this item? This is a tool for assessment for especially intelligent learners. Ayan na, especially intelligent. Ibig sabihin, visual spatial. Anong pwedeng ipagawa sa mga visual spatial learners? Is it oral demonstration? Is it written? Is it landscape drawing? Is it writing inner thoughts? Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, sabi ko kanina kapag may kinalaman sa art, may kinalaman sa drawing, sa art, sa colors, sige. Ang sagot dyan ay C, visual spatial. So, for this item, this is Charlie. Okay, very good po tayo, no? The answer for this item is your landscape drawing. Ayan. Okay, next item. Now, let's talk about your gardener's multiple intelligences. Ilang intelligence po yung minention ni Howard Gardner? Ilan po? Ilan? Okay, meron tayong, sorry, 8 yung nakalagay dito, pero 9 yan. We have 9 broad categories. The first one is we have your logical, mathematical. Okay, they are good with the use of numbers. Okay, that is your logical, mathematical. They're good in terms of logic. Okay, number 2, this is your visual, spatial. Sorry ha, give me 1 minute.
Ayan, carry pa ba? Carry pa po ba? Ayan, konting ilang minutes na lang po. We can end na this ano. Ayan, so lubos-lubosin nyo na po ang ano nyo. Pagsagot. Ayan, balik na po si coach.
Yes po, ayan, I'm back
Sige.
na po. Yan. Okay, let's have number 3. For number 3, this is bodily kinesthetic. Okay? Ibig sabihin, they excel at a task that require physical movement. Physical movement. Okay, for number 4, it's about music. Reading notes, okay? Expressing through musical forms and patterns. They are good in terms of melody, rhythm. Those are musical. Okay? For number 5, we have linguistic. They can actually use words effectively. Okay, they're good in terms of oral communication. That is like linguistic. Next one is we have your interpersonal. Ibig sabihin, they can respond well to others. This is outside. Okay? Next one is we have intrapersonal, meaning within the self. Within the self. Outside is interpersonal. Within the self is intrapersonal. Number 8 is naturalist. Okay, this is naturalist. For number 9, this is existential, meaning capacity to deal deep questions about human existence. Okay, those are the 9 multiple intelligences mentioned by Howard Gardner. Ito po, kailangan po nating i-memorize. Okay, especially yung mga tasks na bagay sa kanila. Kasi nga, sabi ko kanina, we are dealing with different learners inside the classroom. And this learner, may iba't ibang klase ng intelligence sa mga yan. Dapat alam natin kung anong klaseng tool or assessment task ang ating ibibigay sa kanila. And it should be varied to make it more multisensory and multidimensional. Okay? Now, let's move on to our next question. In the context of the theory of multiple intelligence, which is a weakness of the paper pencil test. Ayan, si teacher, gumagamit siya ng pen and paper test. Pero ano ba yung weakness natin? Exactly, tama yan Sir Michael. Ano? Use various activities. Ang tawag po doon ay differentiated activities. Ayan, hindi lang dapat nakafocus si teacher sa iisa. Dapat araw-araw may iba't ibang flavor yan. Ano? Hindi dapat kung nagluto ka ng adobo ay, nagluto ka ng manok, ay lagi na lang adobo. Dapat you also use another recipe on how to cook your chicken. Okay? Para hindi naman magsawa ang mga learners mo. So kung ibig sabihin, araw-araw na puro pen and paper ang activity mo, magsasawa sila. Yun po yung ibig sabihin ng paggamit ng differentiated instruction and differentiated activities. Okay. On this question, ano po kaya ang sagot? Is it puts non-linguistically intelligent at a disadvantage? Or it is not easy to administer? It utilizes so much time. It lacks of reliability. Ano po ang sagot for pen and paper? Ayan. I can see your answers now. No, letter A, letter A. Ayan, nakikita ko si Bea. Bea is my former student. Ayan, shout out to you, Bea. Thank you for tuning in. Even Chester Gabriel. I guess ikaw ay estudyante ko. If I'm not mistaken, Chester, B.E.Ed from ISU Kabagan. Ayan, I can see my former students here pala, nakatune in sila. Thank you. Also, I think also Flordeline. Ayan, sige, sagot po tayo. Okay, the answer here is letter, yes, this is letter A. Okay, this is letter A. Next answer. The best way to assess learning is to use real life situation. Okay, objects and materials. Hence, teachers are encouraged to use blank. Ayan na. Ayan na, ayan na. Okay, we're talking of your real life situation. Ano kayang gagamitin ni teacher? Is it rating scale? Is it observation? Is it pen and paper? Or authentic assessment? Hmm? Ayan. Also, Felix, my former students. Ayan, shoutout sa inyo. Sige, sagot tayo. Sagot, sagot, sagot. Ayan, si Felix. Sino pa? I can see also Miss Christine Sipagan. Also, my student din to. Mhm. Yan, si Delmendo. Also, my student. Yan, thank you for tuning in. Okay, ano pong sagot natin dito? Siyempre, ang ating keyword ay real life situation. Kaya, ang sagot ay C, authentic assessment. Letter D. Ayan, very good po ang manakuha ng tamang sagot. Parang walang nagkamali. Oh, wala nga nagkamali. Ayan, congratulations. Ano, you get the correct answer. Letter D. Okay, next item. Assessment is said to be authentic when the teacher, ayan, we're looking for characteristic of authentic assessment. Ito po ay exact question sa board exam. Okay, the answer here is real life task to accomplish. Bibigyan po si learner ng real life task na kanyang i-accomplish. Okay, that is your authentic assessment. Okay, next item. Of the following, which is the most conducive for authentic assessment? Again, conducive, authentic assessment, this is real life or real world application of concept. So the answer here is your real world application. Okay, naulit lang po yan. Next item. Let's discuss about your authentic assessment. Sige, I'll give you some keywords. Okay na yun, ano? Keywords, real life application, significant, relevant, responsive to the needs of the learners. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun, sir? Kapag po pinag-uusapan ang relevant and responsive, ibig sabihin naaayon sa panahon ng mga learners natin para parang mas, ang tawag dito, mas makarelate sila. Dapat relevant siya at responsive sa time ng mga learners. If your learners are Generation Z, tama ba? Mga 21st century learners, dapat yung mga examples natin ay naaayon sa kanila. Kasi mas magiging experiential yung learning. Mas magiging meaningful yung learning. Compare doon sa hindi na na-experience. Okay? Next one, also application of what students have learned to a new situation. Yung nabanggit ko last time, if you're going to look at your curriculum guide, may dalawang competency doon. Your content standard and your performance standard. Yung dalawang competency sa ating curriculum guide. This is based on Department of Education curriculum guide, ha. Meron tayong content standards at saka performance standards. Yung mga concept ay nandoon sa content standards natin. Okay? Yung konsepto na kanilang nalaman sa kanilang content standards ay kailangang mai-apply doon sa kanilang performance standards or mai-apply sa kanilang performance task. Yun po yung ibig sabihin nun. Tama, Sir Gapasin. You have mentioned about contextualization. Magkakasama kasi yan. Sige, another patalas task. We are talking of your localization, we are talking of your contextualization or indigenization and modification. Kung ang instruction natin, kung ang discussion ay masyadong vague at maluwang or malawak sa mga learners natin, kailangan siyang i-modify. kung hindi nakaka-relate yung mga learners dun sa binibigay mong example, kailangan mo siyang i-contextualize. Kailangan mo siyang i-indigenize. So, ibig sabihin, ano ba yung mga pwedeng examples na nandun sa locality ng mga learners natin na mas makaka-relate sila, na mas magiging responsive dun sa needs nila, mas magiging relevant dun sa panahon nila. Yun po yung ibig sabihin noon. Okay? That is also a keyword or characteristic of our authentic assessment. Number 3, ayan nga, relevant, and how you can use the concept, yun na yun. Okay? Real life. Now, sa ating authentic assessment, tandaan natin, wala pong tama at maling sagot sa authentic assessment. Kasi ito po ay application. At depende po sa experience ni learner ang magiging sagot niya. Nakuha natin? Magiging depende po yung magiging sagot ni learner sa kanyang experience. That's why walang mali at walang tamang experience. Okay? May good and bad experience, but there is no right and wrong experience kasi everyone can learn from their experience. Okay? Next item. Next item. Speaking of experience, this may sound cliche to everyone, but experience is the best teacher. Tama po yun. Meron po tayong tinatawag na vicarious learning. Vicarious learning. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng vicarious learning? Okay? Ang ibig sabihin po ng vicarious learning is when we learn from others, that is vicarious learning. Again, when we learn from others, that is vicarious learning. Okay, yun po yung ibig sabihin nun. Remember, we learn from our... Okay, exactly. Teachers also can learn from their students. Tama po yan. Tama po yan. Okay? Those are the different characteristics of our authentic. Another, we let our learners think out of the box. Ibig sabihin, you let them explore. Hindi lang dapat nalilimit ang classes sa loob ng four corners ng classroom. You let them go outside. Ito po ay naka-align naman sa theory, especially in kindergarten. Sino po ang, sige, another patalastas. Sino po ang father ng ating kindergarten? Sino po ang father ng ating kindergarten? Okay, we only have 3 minutes left. Sino po ang father ng ating kindergarten? Sino po? Sino po ang exactly, the father of kindergarten is Froibel. Okay. Sino man po yung nagsabi ng approach na to? Dapat ang kindergarten is let them explore, let them play outside. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag kindergarten yan, hindi dapat specialize ang subject dyan. Dapat exploratory yan. Okay? Sino po nagsabi nun? Okay? Sino pang proponent nun? Na dapat kapag kinder, naglalaro lang sila, they play to learn, hands-on activities, more of experience. Okay? Sino po yun? Okay? Sino po yun? Friedrich Preuvel from Germany. Yes, siya po ang father. Okay. Ang nagsabi po ng exploratory or enjoy, that is, no, it's not exactly Chloe. That is Montessori. Maria Montessori. That's why we have Montessori schools. Ang ating mga Montessori schools ay kinuha or Maria Montessori. Kaya ganun po ang approach ng Montessori schools. It's more of play. It's more of exploration and discovery of the world or the environment. Okay? Si Dewey naman, ang sinabi naman ni John Dewey is learning by doing. It's more of hands-on activities. Yun naman yung ibig sabihin ni John Dewey. I think this is the last slide na po. Okay? This is the last slide na po. Okay? Now, thank you so much, because it's already 9 p.m., no? Ang ating target na time, it's only 9 p.m. Thank you
Yes
so
po.
much for tuning in for 2 hours. I hope you learned something, from our discussion. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm praying lahat po tayo ay papasa sa ating board exam. Ayan. Thank
Thank
you,
you so much
Coach.
po. Thank you so much po, Coach. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa another 2 hours of sharing your expertise on this field. Ayan, maraming salamat po, Coach. See you tomorrow po, Coach. sa ano natin, oh no, not tomorrow po, sorry. See you
Yes
sa
po, okay
next
lang
ano
po tomorrow
natin
ulit.
session sa page.
Yes po, yes po.
Ayan. Maraming
Thank you so
maraming salamat
much.
po and God bless po,
More
Coach.
daw,
See you
more.
sa next session natin.
Yes po, thank you
Ayan. Thank
po.
you po, Coach. Ayan. Nag-enjoy po ba ang lahat? Teachers, nag-enjoy po ba ang lahat? Ayan, maraming maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na patuloy na pagsuporta at pagre-review. Ayan. At si Teacher Seppi will always do my best para maano natin yung review natin, mga live sessions natin for free. Ayan. Maraming maraming salamat po sa inyo. Ayan, sa mga gustong hahabol po ngayong Saturday and Sunday with Coach Rowena po. Ayan, direct message me, Prof Ed and Gen Ed po yan. Okay? Ayan, sige. Maraming maraming salamat. With regards naman sa perfume natin, sa mga sa gustong makakuha ng perfume, ayan. After ng after ng live na to, okay? After ng live na to, comment lang po kayo ng present and then after ng live after ng live na to, comment lang po kayo ng present dito sa video na to and I'm going to select 20, 20 po, 20. I'm going to select 20 people na magkakaroon po ng free perfumes by Teacher Seppi, okay? Ayan, clear po ba yon? Comment lang po ng present and then I'm going to select 20 people. Magre-reply po ako sa comment ninyo, okay? Ayan, thank you so much. God bless everyone. Ayan, see you po sa next session natin. Maraming maraming salamat po. Ay, sa po, after ko po, pag nag-end na po yung live na to, saka lang po kayo mag-comment ng present, sa video na to. Saka lang po kayo mag-comment ng present after ng live na to. Okay po? Clear po ba yon? Kasi doon po ako magre-reply kasi after ng live na to, pag i-upload ko to, hindi ko na po makikita yung mga comments nyo na present. Ayan. So, you have to comment present after ko mag-end yung ma-end yung live na to. Okay? Doon kayo mag-comment ng present sa video na to pagkatapos ng live kasi doon ako magre-reply. Okay? Clear po ba yun, teachers? Clear po ba yun? I'm giving away 20 bottles of essential perfumes by Teacher Seppi. Okay? Ayan. Mamaya na po kayo mag-comment ng present after ng live na to, okay? Ayan. Sige, God bless everyone. See you tomorrow doon sa page ko. Maraming maraming salamat po sa support. God bless. Good night po. Good night. This is Teacher Seppi. Si Teacher Seppi. Good night, everyone.